Well, welcome back to part 2 of this video. If you haven't seen part 1, I released it yesterday. So I hope you enjoyed part 2, and yeah, have fun.
Finland's Prime Minister in 1922 versus Finland's Prime Minister in 2022. 100 years HRT. I mean, I know a lot of trans people just look younger than they are, but this is some next level shit. Good for her. Quit comparing yourself to trans people who have been medically transitioning for years. You just started and everybody's body is different. Me, that side won't stop me because I can't read. It's always easier to tell other people that they shouldn't compare themselves to other trans people because even like if you do like a trans comparison of like, oh, I've also been on testo for a year and then comparing yourself to other people who've been on testo for a year, it's incredibly unproductive because everyone's body is literally different, right? But it's easier to tell other people than actually like do it yourself, you know? That's just true. But I can still tell you, you know, how my family sees me, how my friends see me, how my brother sees me, how my boyfriend sees me, how I see myself, how I really am. It's not our fault that we look younger than we actually are, okay? But yeah. I love how your brother just sees you as like really badass, but then you just look like a 5-year-old kid. I'm here for it. Neo-pronouns exist. Transphobes. No! Just Scrabble players. Well, that's fair. I mean, they're quite short, don't you? I mean, I know you get like more points for like X's and Z's, but don't you also get more points for longer words? Because in that case, most pronouns are just very useless. But oh well. My father found out I was taking hormones and said I was gonna regret it. Dude, my only regret is that I didn't take them sooner. Again, this seems so weird. Because, again, people who are on hormones have been to therapy for at least half a year, have thought about it like in their own head for way longer than that. I don't think anyone from the outside gets to stand there and be like, oh, you're gonna regret that. That's gonna like permanently change your body. Like, yeah, that's kind of the point, you know? But what? Don't be weird. What if you were so proud of being trans, but God said, transphobic, homophobic, religious family? I am so sorry. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm really glad you can still be proud of it. You might have to distance yourself at some point if you can eventually, because honestly, having to constantly argue with them about being allowed to exist really is exhausting, and you shouldn't have to. I'm really sorry, but why? Oh my god. Me having fun with my little cousin and my sister. My cousin says girls versus boy. Okay. She posted this with the caption of, I know she doesn't mean any harm, and I don't know if you're just not out to her, but that's so frustrating. When you're not out, or you just don't pass, and then you get referred to the wrong way, it's... You know, I never expected to not care. Because, like, I always wanted to not give a shit about pronouns and, like, how people refer to me. But it used to hurt so much to be misgendered. But now it just doesn't even seem like misgendering anymore because I'm just like, dude, I'm non-binary. I literally don't care. Like, but I'm really sorry. Everyone, I think Amazon is onto me. Thigh eyes. Are those earrings? I don't know. Crystals? More crystals? Are these chokers or belts? Oh well. But yeah, Amazon usually picks up on it very quickly. Stop it. Stop spying. But anyways, thighs are good. Thighs are comfortable, so why not? Playing VR to have fun. No. Playing VR to escape your family and dysphoria. Isn't that the same as having fun though? But anyways, I hope you have fun playing VR, even if you don't do it just for fun, really. But yeah. That's why gaming is so good for a lot of people, because I don't want to argue about the healthiness of escapism, really, but you know, sometimes, especially if you live like with unsupportive family, it might be very necessary. Someone I know might be trans. I should give them advice since I have experience. I found out through someone who didn't have the permission to tell me, and they don't know I know. First of all, don't out other people unless they specifically tell you that it's okay if you tell other people. What are you doing? Why would you tell other people? And secondly, maybe just randomly bring up that you're actually trans yourself, because that way they can then talk to you and be like, oh hey, I'm trans too, I need help. Girl, I love your dress. Oh, thank you, I love your hair. Wow, that was so nice. I feel so great. Amazing. Euphoric. I'm immortal now. I cannot die. I know this isn't like even trans specific, but it's so cute. It is so cute. And we love women supporting other women. So I wanted to include it because it's cute. So deal with it. Me, being a pansexual trans woman. Yeah. Realizing you're straight and you've only met one man in your area that isn't actually a transphobic Trump voting ass. I am really sorry. I feel like that's all I can say to that. And I don't even mean being straight. This isn't the time for me to be like, haha, straight people suck. But a lot of straight people unfortunately do actually suck. And you might need to move. I know it sucks if you can't, but if you can, you might want to consider moving. She, her, they, them. Cool hat. Well, that's fair. That's fair. How does her hair actually do that? Like comic book hair or like cartoon hair is always wild. Mastectomy, hysterectomy, no, TT'd and uterus. I've never heard uterus before. But yeah, listen, surgeries suck anyways. You might as well make them fun if you want to do them. You know? Noodle, Bombay bad boy flavor. Turn bad boy in 4 minutes. Okay, if you have watched any of my videos before, you're not going to be surprised that I think gender products are incredibly unnecessary. And especially things like this just seem really weird. But at the same time, I'm really glad they exist, because for trans people, it's so incredibly... It seems so silly, but it seems so incredibly helpful if you're like... Especially if you're like early in a transition and like everyone's misgendering you, but then you can get yourself like bad boy noodles. That's kind of cute. I'm unable to hate these noodles now. Oh my god. Teach your boys how to be men before their teachers teach them to be women. PSA for the day. Oh, how wholesome. A supportive dad teaches his trans son valuable life skills instead of sending him back to his bigoted turf of a teacher. Well, yeah. Yeah. I know it was supposed to be all teachers do is indoctrinate your kids and turn your boys into soft snowflakes or women or I don't even know. But you made it wholesome, so I'm here for it. Trans meetup culture. The first 5 minutes, just kind of awkward, kind of quiet, but after 5 minutes, and then I had to run away from my home, and my whole life changed. Oh, I so feel you. This is generally queer culture, somehow. Why is that? Honestly, I love that. Queer people are like this. It's great. Me, excitedly telling my dad about HRT, and one of the effects of estrogen is that I'll grow breasts. Awkward silence. And you want that? Me. Yes. I think it doesn't even seem like he's unsupportive. I think he's still a little confused. I think he's just confused. But yeah. Yeah, she wants that. Go to gendered bathrooms and replace the signs with 2 random things like a fish and a sandal, and then watch as people puzzle out which one is manlier. It's not vandalism if it's an art project. Well, if you write down the results and properly format the paper, it even counts as science. Honestly, we could make whole videos about bad, bathroom roll signs. Because a lot of them are just gross. Well, actually, most of them are just the normal toilet roll signs where I have a man and then the dress person. But a lot of them, when they try to be creative or funny, it just ends so badly. But I'm here for it. Let's do this. It's not vandalism if it's art or science, you know? Trans guys and trans girls be like, I wish I had boobs. Honestly, just take mine. Why aren't we just like Mr. Potato Head and can switch body parts? That'd be so much easier, you know? Oh well. Are you deconstructing your idea of gender, gender identity, and gender presentation, or are you just memorizing pronouns? Not a meme, but I wanted to include it. Because a lot of people have so many strict rules really about what they think a man or a woman is, and then when someone isn't like that, it's always kind of looked down on, and it's I mean, it still doesn't make sense in my head, because what do you even care what other people do? But you know, because that way, yeah, if you just memorize specific people's pronouns, you'll gender them correctly, but you'll also still assume everyone's gender. So maybe don't. Cis grief should be expressed in therapy, with a therapist, not your trans child, ever. It feels like someone died. Mate, your child has never felt more alive. Open your eyes. Exactly. It seems so weird. Because legit, just because someone tells you, hey, I'm not the gender you thought I was, I'm actually this, it doesn't mean someone has actually died. The version in your head that you had of their life, of how you think that child is gonna grow up and live their life, that changed, sure, but that's kind of a you problem. And if it is actually a problem for you, yeah, maybe go to a therapist instead of saying shit like this to your kid. What are you doing? When I say I'm bi, what I mean is I'm attracted to all types of trans people, as well as queer women. Is there actually a word for it? Because bi kind of works, yeah, but is there actually a word for that? There's nothing worse than hearing someone talk about someone who has your dead name, and you just have to sit there and not react, because otherwise they'd know your dead name. Yeah, legit. Someone at my old job had my birth name. It was really, because no one there even knew my dead name, right? But every time someone called her name, I was like, oh fuck. It was so frustrating. I mean, it really helped in the long run, because it helped me kind of associate that name with her, instead of hating it just because it gave me so much discomfort over the years. But I'm also not that secretive about my dead name. I really, because of that, I think I just don't care anymore. Because it's like yeah, it used to be my name, but who really cares? Honestly, it's valid if you do care, but I somehow don't anymore. I don't want to like tell everyone, but I'm kind of okay if people find out. r/transpassing. How am I doing? I'm 3 days on estrogen. Me after 3 years on estrogen. You look so tired. Oh my god. But again, it's always like we're always harsh on ourselves and we always see ourselves differently than other people do. So well, you probably don't look like this, but some people just get so lucky. Some people just pass so easily. And honestly, good for them.
The LGBTQ community is not trying to turn straight kids into queer kids. We are trying to make sure that you don't turn queer kids into dead kids. We are not the same.
Yeah. I think I want to do like a general queer or trans TikTok again at some point. I know I did queer TikTok recently. I kind of want to do a trans TikTok specific one at some point. But I still wanted to include this because I found it. And I was like, we're just going to include it here. Because, yes, we're not trying to turn, because it's such a debate, we're not trying to turn cis kids into trans kids. We're not trying to turn anyone trans. We're just trying to make sure that the people who are actually trans, like, have it easier figuring themselves out and then have it easier living as themselves and don't have to struggle because people keep being transphobic dickheads. You know, there's slight difference. But, yes. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. So that is actually the only TikTok you're getting today. I hope, if you're trans or not, I hope you can learn to love yourself, because especially as a trans person, it's just not easy. But then again, a lot of people struggle with it. So, you know, figuring yourself out is definitely going to help, because then you know if you want to medically transition or not, or if you just like want to change your hair, or, you know, you'll figure out what you want. I know it's frustrating, but you'll get there. And in the meantime, if I can make you laugh or something, at least a little bit, glad to help. But anyways, I hope you had fun today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in 3 days.